So let's start off by making a medium-sized circle using this technique. So we're gonna pivot using our pinky finger. We're gonna hold that firmly down to try to create a nice, firm, stable pivot point. And then you're gonna hold firmly, but try to keep it as steady as possible without moving. And then you're going to start pressing down on the paper with your pencil and then slowly rotating the paper around your pivot point, and you should connect. Now, if you want to draw a little bit of a larger circle, we can use 3 fingers. So again, hold down wherever you'd like on the paper using your pinky as a pivot point. And if you want to have larger of a circle, you can use 3 or even 4 fingers, and then just try to keep it in maintain a nice position and then hold a stable grip, and then press gently. Start rotating the page. It's good if you have a table that is smooth, free of any sort of friction or frictionless. I find heavier weight paper holds better. If you use something that's too thin, it'll start wrinkling. There's also, if you want to draw a large circle, you can use the bone of your palm right here. This is probably gonna, let's see, we'll try that here, depending on how big. So again, try to hold your hand as firmly as possible and have enough release. I'm gonna just put the pencil down, and if you're holding it in a steady location, this should create a nice round circle. There we go. So that's a simple hack. If you do have any templates like this one that I have for one of my drawing books, Drawing Basics, you do have circled guides and templates, so that's another way to create perfect circles. You have a little bit more control of where the locations are. You can get this on our website if you follow the link below. You can also use an ink pen. This will probably show up a little bit better for the viewers on screen. So we'll go ahead and draw a circle here. Every time you start and stop, the ink that gets placed on the paper will start to kind of be a little bit, darker and thinner. So here's a small circle using my pinky as a pivot point. So yeah, using that. And another technique is using 2 pencils, and in this case I'm going to use a white so we don't make any markings on the page. You can use whatever 2 colors you have. We'll use this as an anchor and as a pivot point, and then this will be our pencil that we're going to use to apply pressure. So we're going to hold this pivot point here, and we'll try to keep from tilting as much as possible. So when you get a good position, keep that anchor down, hold still, and start spinning your page. And it should come to a perfect circle. So that's another technique, and depending how far away from that pivot point you go, it'll make a smaller circle. The farther away you go, make a larger circle. So this is great little tips for, if you're in class and you need to make a quick pie chart to kind of show something, and you want that to be very nice of a circle. There you go. So if you don't have a circle template or a guide at your disposal, there's a couple techniques that you can use to create a circle. So one is drawing a circle just freehand, and if you practice a lot, you'll get these to look pretty close. If you hit that line a few times, make a couple circular rotations. A lot of times I'll use a part of my hand to create almost like a balance point, so I'm not just like free floating. So I'm like anchoring myself on the page itself using my knuckle, one of my finger joints. That kind of helps me control how high above and below the page I am. And then once I'm ready, I can drop that pencil down to create my shape. If you're looking at another method to create a circle, if you draw a square, and it's a little bit easier to draw a square to do straight lines. If you draw equal lengths and all four sides are equal, you know, here's your corners, just to be pretty close here. And then if you extend these lines past, you'll be able to create, you know, follow these corners and draw a couple more guiding points that are similar distance away from that square. And this will give you a little bit more of a closer guideline, so that as you kind of go in and connect all of those points together, you'll get a circle. Now, this technique's a little bit tricky because your hand wants to naturally curve in one direction. So by keeping the paper stationary and coming in this way, it's a little bit harder it's not as natural of a way to draw with your hand. So another option is to, as you're sketching, to kind of turn the paper as you go. And then another way to do this is using, if you want to be a little bit more accurate, you know, use a straight edge, measure that distance. Draw 4 edges. And find the center of that. You draw a line from one side to the other corner. You will find the center of our square. And then if you draw a parallel line, to the other edges, you can extend that off. And also, now that we have this, if you find this corner to the center point here, you can see it's 5 centimeters. If we take 5 centimeters and draw our point out here, because every part of the circle will be the same distance away from that center point. So we now have all of our points that we can start to connect. So again, if you want to have a nice curve, I suggest arcing. So if you're left-handed, it would be the opposite, but creating a nice slow curve from one point to the other, and just rotate your page. And you'll get a nice circle. Now you can take like an ink pen and kind of trace over that shape, trying to keep as natural of a curve from one point to the other as possible. And you can see here I have a little bit more of a pointy edge there, but right around here, this looks pretty good. So that's a way to create a little bit more of an accurate, perfect circle just by using freehand techniques. So give it a try, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to get our sketchbook on how to draw drawing basics, which includes how to draw circles, spheres, cubes, cones, cylinders, ellipses, all kinds of stuff, check out our channel and our website in the listing below in the description. And then you can also get our drawing basic stencil, which has a bunch of circles on here already set up, some squares, triangles, hexagons, some curves over here. So that's available to purchase. So thanks for watching.